Alright, topic of today's video is finding a girlfriend when you have autism. Somebody wrote me a letter about this, and I don't want to go into too much personal detail about his life, but that's basically the premise of the entire letter. And my feedback on that is, I don't really know. I never even knew about autism until I became a father myself, and one of my kids has autism, and then I started to know more about it, learn more about it, and the causes of it, and the differences between somebody that has autism and somebody that doesn't. Usually when you grow up, people just make fun of the people, like the kids saying, oh, he's special ed, or he's retarded, or whatever. But as a kid, you don't know what is wrong with them or anything. People just say that they're slow, but you don't know what's going on, But as an adult, now you learn more about, okay, what this actually is. And then I've seen it in my own kid, and then I see some other kids have it, and one of the kids that I train has it. And then I've just met some people in my life that has certain disabilities, and I haven't really been exposed to it that much as far as like being around that many people with disabilities, no matter it be like mental or physical disabilities. But what I say, I think it's not just about finding a girlfriend with autism, or like finding a girlfriend when you have autism. I think a lot of different things could be seen as disabilities, and there's a lot of different people out there that don't have autism that have a very difficult time finding a partner, for whatever reason. They just might not be attractive. Somebody might be poor, or somebody might be very short. Somebody might be very obese. Somebody might have a skin condition where they have, rashes everywhere, pimples everywhere. I mean, like, there's a lot of people in this world that have a hard time finding an intimate partner, regardless of whether or not you have autism. All I could suggest is that no matter what position you are in life, no matter if you have autism or not, is to challenge yourself to better yourself in areas that you are capable of bettering yourself, so then you will almost be seen as a person that is just a normal person, just like everybody else. Meaning, like, if somebody's short, they can't really do much to grow taller. That's something that they can't change. But if you have autism and you could read and you could write, but say you don't speak that well, then you could just keep practicing on your speech, like just constantly practice. I know that you could get better, because like my son has shown a lot of improvement, for example. It just takes a longer time. So whatever it is about the autism, the traits that are seen as a weakness, you need to work hard towards turning that into the strength. I mean, just like physical weakness. I mean, there's people out there that don't have autism, but then they're just really physically weak, and they got trained really hard, day in, day out, to get stronger. And a person with autism, I think, in my opinion, they just have to put more effort, a lot more effort, like through, towards their mental development and emotional development than the average person. And I think that they can get better. They might not be, they're not going to be the best, but they could get better, in whatever challenges that they have, towards interacting with other people and things like that. Because even for me, I don't consider myself having autism, but you know, I do see myself having strong like introverted traits. And I think a lot of people that have disabilities probably do have stronger introverted traits, because it's like the extroverts are the ones that are prized in this culture, in this society, and people that are not extroverted, they look at them as like almost as if they have a disability. Oh, he doesn't talk that much, or he's shy, or you know, just whatever, you know, like he doesn't like to socialize, and he likes to be alone, and you know, like he's weird, or whatever the case may be. It's like they like to label people that are not extroverted as if there's something wrong with them, you know. And so I could relate in that aspect. And then I could also say that there's certain things that you could find that you're naturally good at, where other people, they have a very difficult time. So you might not be able to conversate that well and approach women that well, but then you can highlight the abilities that you do have, which might be, you might be a really good writer, and then you might start writing books, you know what I'm saying, like, and then like become very successful being a writer, or just interacting with people through social media. I think it gives people with certain disabilities like autism an opportunity to get close to somebody through letting them get to know your inside out, you know, because normally, you know, if you meet somebody at the store, then you have to approach them and be really good at conversating and give a good first impression, and it's more like a direct approach. But online, you could kind of highlight your you know, your writing skills and your ability to connect with somebody from, like, you know, from the inside out, you know. So, you know, I say, but at the same time, I say don't put too much emphasis on finding somebody to be a source of happiness, because I think a lot of people fall into that trap. Like, you can't depend on somebody to give you happiness, no matter if you got autism or not. You can't just depend on another person. You gotta find that happiness within yourself. You gotta basically be able to find content being by yourself, like true content, you know, being truly content, you know. And you gotta get to the point where you can like genuinely feel that if you don't find somebody, you're okay, you're fine, you're happy. If you do find somebody, that's great too, but if you don't, then that's fine. Like, you can't make it seem like, you know, life is so miserable unless you find somebody, you know. Like, there's a lot of people out there that don't have autism that think that way, and that's the wrong mentality. You know, you can't just be so dependent on another person like that, you know. And another thing is, it's just almost like the realization that, like, relationships are not perfect, and just because, you know, you get to be intimate with somebody, it's not like the greatest thing. It's not like, you know, don't put it in such a pedestal. I mean, I know it's hard not to if you haven't experienced it yet, but at the same time, you know, through my experience, you got to be able to find happiness in various different things in life, you know. And there's gonna be great people, great sages, you know, that reach like very high levels of meditation, that consciously give up, like, you know, the desire towards intimacy. And that's a conscious decision. It's not because they're not capable of finding somebody, it's just that they consciously gave up that that desire. So if they could consciously do it, then you could do something like that too, you know. But, you know, I mean, that's what I have to say about it right now. You know, I mean, like, just work on your own personal development and just see where it goes from there.